New Year. Thank you so much for joining me for our first yoga class of 2022. I hope you're excited because I am. Today's class theme will be yoga to help us feel more, be more open. That can be a lot of things to a lot of people at any given point in time. Maybe you're feeling like you want to be a little more physically open, you're feeling a little constricted, a little tight, a little rickety. We want to oil up those joints. Or maybe we're feeling a little mentally, spiritually, a little spiritually tight, and we want to open up that way, get a little mental thawing going on. So, whatever it is that being open might mean to you in this moment, I hope that I can help you get there. So, let's go ahead and get started right in the middle of our mat. Feet about hip width apart. Let's take a big inhale. I always like to start my yoga classes, whether it's a personal practice or I'm teaching a class, with a big inhale, pinching the shoulder blades up toward the ears. And a slow exhale, releasing the shoulders down away from the ears like heavy weights. A lot of the times, this is our first practice in opening our bodies up because we don't really realize how tight we are in the traps. So maybe you're already starting to feel that as you release the shoulders away from the ears. Start to build on that connection, that foundation, soaring up through the soles of our feet. Maybe you even want to, speaking of being open, maybe you even want to grip your toes to the mat and spread them wide, just so we can say, hi to our feet, our toes. They do so much for us, so we gotta give them a little shout out every now and then too, right? So wiggle the toes if that's feeling like something you might want to do today. Spread them out real wide. Maybe try to envision getting that pinky or the pinky toe away from the other toe. Good. Is that the index toe? I don't know. Anyway, bring it all back together. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. And then if it feels good, eyes opened or closed, although I always invite you to close the eyes and go inward. Let's start to focus on the breath. So things are going to start to get quiet here. We may have some thoughts coming in to try and distract us from focusing on the breath, but that's okay, that's normal. That's why we're here, so we can even still with all that create the space to try and find some solace. So you may start to feel those thoughts come in, and that's okay. We just focus on the breath with every thought that passes by. We make an intention to acknowledge it and then come back to the breath. Maybe you want to do a little full body scan here, starting from the toes and slowly working your way up the chain. How are the soles of my feet feeling? How are my ankles? How are my calves? Good. Just a little check-in. Don't attach to any narratives that might come up associated with what you're checking in with. We're not going to agree or disagree. We're just going to notice, maybe take notes. And if you want to go back to it later, you can. Good. And then from this place of gaining some awareness, of quieting down the mind, using the breath to bring our attention back to the breath and to the body. Let's start to extend those inhales in and exhales out. Good. And our practice, once again, is to remain or be open, feel more open. So you may start to feel some resistance, some restriction as I'm asking you to stand here for longer. So I invite you to try and play with what it might feel like to be open to the idea of standing here for just a little bit longer without really doing anything aside from breathing. Focusing on the breath, we take a big inhale in through the nose, imagining filling the lungs up with air all the way to the base of the spine, and exhaling, releasing all the air, collapsing the lungs. Good. Inhaling big, filling the lungs up with air, and exhaling, releasing the lungs, maybe blowing a thought away if it happened to come in. One more time, big inhale, opening up to the possibilities here. Inhale big. And exhale, release. Good. From this place of awareness. Let's get some movement in here. So I'm going to turn sideways on my mat. Come to the foot of your mat if you'd like to join me there. Take a big inhale, soft bend in the knees. We'll send the hands down, around, and up. Really reaching for something good up above through both sides of the body. And then on the exhale, let's hug the low ribs in, or maybe tuck the belly button toward the spine. Soft bend or deep bend, however our hamstrings are wanting to come along on this journey with us. We're going to guide ourselves down into a fold on the exhale. Inhale, sliding the hands up the shins to find a flat back here. Good. Eyes looking down, and neck is an extension of our spine. Next big exhale, we fold, we release. Knees bent or slightly bent or not bent, whatever your jam is. Next big inhale, here we go. Once again, ground down heavily through the soles of the feet. Big inhale, big lift, big reaching up for something good. Good, and on the exhale, once again, tuck that belly, hug the low ribs in, deep bend or tiny bend, your body, your choice. We find the fold. Inhale, lift up, slide the shoulders down the back as you find your half bend. And exhale, fold once again. Good, big inhale, let's send the hands down, around, and up. Good, reaching for something good, something new maybe. We never know what we'll find when we reach up for something good, right, from the universe. And exhale, release. Good. Let's just stay here for a moment, finding some peace in the pause. Turn the palms forward and out. Once again, having a position of being open. Let's workshop this nice, strong, erect mountain pose. Grounding down through both soles of the feet. Make sure your toes are pointing forward. Good. Hugging those low ribs in. Suction cupping those inner thighs in and up. And maybe even imagining pressing the tops of the thighs back. And we'll engage our quads a little more here. Just take a moment to feel how strong you are in this mountain pose. Immovable. Strong, stable, building from a place of foundation with every posture. This is how we learn to become open. We have to have a strong foundation in order to have those building blocks to step up the levels to being safe enough to feel like we can open up a little more. So grounding down through that foundation, feeling the strong feeling of embodying all those characteristics of a mountain. Good. And as you're ready, next big inhale. Once again, let's send the hands down, around, and up. See what you find as you open up to whatever the universe has to offer. And then on the exhale, we're going to take it in the chair. So if you would like to challenge yourself, we can bring the big toes together, really engaging our inner thigh muscles as we roll the shoulders back and down and hug the low ribs in to find our seat. Good. And if we're not there, maybe you want to separate the legs. Make sure the toes stay pointing forward, shoulders stay sliding down, low ribs are tucked in. We protect our back here in this nice chair pose. So toes together or apart, wherever you like. Let's just take a moment to breathe here. Good. Feeling the strength surging up through the soles of the feet. Building strength within ourselves, trust within ourselves that we can accomplish this task. Good, and then let's add on here, grounding down heavily through the heels. Let's take a big inhale, and we're gonna lift up, and as you do, I want you to really imagine like you're literally sending your heart up and out toward the universe on that inhale, and on the exhale, we open up and bring something good down. Good, keep that going, inhaling, opening up, literally lifting the heart up to the universe. And exhaling, bringing something down. Keep that going, big reach, big extension, big stretch to both sides of the body. And exhaling, sinking, strengthening. 2 more times, inhale. See what you find, and exhale. Find your seat. Last time, big inhale. Good, and exhale and sit. Very good. On this next inhale, let's challenge ourselves here. Again, being open to the possibilities. We're going to play around a little bit. And the next inhale, we're gonna very slowly lift one leg, shifting our weight to our favorite leg, and then lifting the opposite. Belly button is fine as we find a balancing posture. Good, just right here, hands at the heart. Good, being open to what this posture might bring. So sometimes we're afraid to do things because we have already a predetermined notion of how it's going to end, how it's going to start, what it's going to be like, and so we talk ourselves out of trying things. But be open to maybe experiencing something different and something that you've done many times before, much like a balancing posture. Good. Nice. Next, big exhale. Let's trust ourselves. We'll send it back into a lunge. Trust yourself. Shoot that foot back behind, landing on the ball of the back foot. Exhaling as it lands. Settling in. Taking the front hip and pressing it back and grounding down heavily through that ball. Pressing the heel away on the opposite foot. Nice. We find our place in space here in our lunge pose. Next, big inhale once again as if we're literally lifting the heart up and out. Big openings in the hands up overhead. Good, in line with the ears. Keep the chin parallel to the floor so we're not straining the neck. Good. Nice, and then as you're ready, next big exhale, let's bring the hands behind, either interlocking the hands or maybe grabbing your wrists or just shooting those fingertips behind if we don't have the mobility. Your choice today. Wherever we are, let's find a nice heart opening as we arch the heart up toward the heavens. We take the palms of the hands and gently press them down. Shoulder blades gently pinch together as we open up. Good. Playing a little bit in our practice, being open to not knowing what might be coming next, right? We're just gonna be along for the ride here. One more big inhale in. And on the exhale, we're gonna take it down into humble warrior. Let's drop the shoulders inside of that front knee, humbling ourselves. Big inhale in and exhale out, pressing now the palms up toward the ceiling instead of down. One more big inhale. Ooh, getting a little shaky shake, that's okay. Breathe through it, and on the exhale, float the hands back up overhead, big high lunge. Stay for the inhale. Good, and exhale, let's step back up to mountain once again. Check back in. Check in with the thoughts. Good, know that you can watch them float by. You can interact with them, but know that you have a choice. You can choose to interact with them or you can choose to not interact with them. And instead, we can do something better serving, such as focusing on the breath. So your choice to make. Whatever you decide, trust it, and know that you always have another opportunity to come back and maybe make another choice. Good, adding on second side, starting from chair pose. Let's take that big inhale, send the hands down or on up. And on the exhale, we take it down into chair. Finding your place, playing around in our practice. So our chair pose is brand new to us in this moment. So see what else you can find. We're not gonna focus on where we were in our posture when we did it just a few moments ago. Brand new in this moment. So let's be open to what else might come if we let go of our past selves and what our past selves could do. You there? Right? We're already in the future. So step into the present. Good. Next big inhale, we lift up. And on the exhale, trusting ourselves, we shift that weight, find that balancing posture, grounding down heavily through the opposite foot, shoulders roll back and down, belly button tight toward the spine, lowers hugged in to protect your back. And we're breathing. Good. Breath powers everything we do. Whew, even if you feel a little weeble wobbly like that, that's okay. We don't normally balance, right? So the body's gonna be recalibrated every time we challenge it in this position, but that is okay. That is okay. Here we go, next big exhale. Let's find our lunge, taking it back into our lunge, planting the ball of the foot down, checking in with your foundation through the soles of the feet up to the crown. And then as you're ready, once again, literally lifting, opening up the heart, send it up, offer it up, and be open to what you might get back. We don't know when, we don't know how, we don't know what it will be, but we can find some trust in knowing that as long as we're doing these things with the right intention in mind, that the universe will repay us. It can work no other way. And so check in here, big inhale. Next, exhale, let's find our Exalted Warrior, interlocking the hands behind or grabbing a wrist, whatever feels best, rolling the shoulders back and down, pinching the shoulders just slightly, opening the heart. Brand new in this moment, let go of your past self, step into your current present self. Allow yourself to be open to what this new person might find. Then on the exhale, let's take it down into humble warrior. Let's humble ourselves, dropping the shoulders inside the front knee. Now pressing the palms up, still strong and stable through the back leg. One big inhale. Good, and on the exhale, release the hands, thumbs in front. As the thumbs go overhead, we take a big inhale. Good, and then on the exhale, let's float the hands down the frame of the foot. We are going to come down into a lunge to step back into down dog. So take your time, planting the hands and then stepping that foot back into down dog. Awesome. We're going to press down through all the fingers and the fingerprints. We're going to put a bend in the knee or a slight bend in the knee depending on what's happening in the hamstrings. We're going to be honest with ourselves. We're going to honor our body by doing only what we can. Only what we can in the moment while we wait for more to come. Then you'll notice I start to paddle my heels here. Just something I like to do just to, once again, check in with my down dog. Then let's add on here. So wherever you are, whether the knees are bent or not, make sure we have our hip points, our hip crease pointing up and back toward the space where the wall meets the ceiling. And then on our next exhale, we're going to try out a little side bend here by just rotating the heels toward one back corner of your mat. My heels are toward the right. Good. And that's going to open up the left side body. So keep pressing those palms down into the mat. Keep lifting the hips up, and we're just going to drop the hips to the side. Inhale back to center, and exhale second side. Good. And we can play with this a little bit more here. This could be something quite new and interesting if you've been doing a traditional down dog this whole time. This might be a little bit more interesting and even a little bit more challenging, but that's okay because we are open to the possibilities of what doing something different might bring us. Good. So rotate side to side here. Just feel that side body opening up. One more big inhale in and exhale out. Then we're going to add on inhale at center. Then on the exhale, shifting the weight to the left, we're going to take the right heel and lift it up and back toward the ceiling. Three-legged dog. Let's keep the heel pressing up, that back knee pointing down, the hip points pointing down, so we can make sure we're in alignment. So we don't want to look like this in our three-legged dog. Good. And exhale, take it down. Good. Inhale, and let's step the right foot in just a touch so we can exhale and lift the left up. Ooh-wee. Nice. Heel pressing up, knee pointing down, and exhale, release. Good job. Now the next big inhale in, we'll stay, and on the exhale, let's drop it down into child's pose. Let's just take a moment here. Reach the arms long. Drop the heart to the mat. Taking a beat here. Just letting that sink and settle. Getting some nice, deep, full belly breaths in here too. Good. As we settle in to this practice of helping us stay open, opening through the heart, the heart chakra allows us to build that compassion, that connection, that love, and that empathy, not only toward the outside world, but for ourselves. And that's what I really want you to put your focus on. A lot of the times we want it so badly to be able to give these things to other people, but we have to be able to give it to ourselves first in order to offer it to someone else. To that same point, we have to be able to give these things to ourselves in order to be open to anything else. So we got to love ourselves first. We got to have empathy for ourselves first. We got to have some compassion for ourselves first so that we can feel safe enough to do more, to open up more. So just let that bang around in the brain, in the mind for a little bit. And let's add on here, getting a little more playful in our practice. Let's step back, get back into down dog. So take your position. We'll start from tabletop here just so we can go into it a different way. Starting from tabletop, let's inhale big. And on the exhale, we're gonna pick up our low ribs, hugging them into the spine. Pick up those knees and send those hip creases up and back toward down dog once again. Adding on three-legged dog variation. Drop your left foot in just a touch. And on the exhale, we're gonna send that right heel up just like we did before, but adding on, having a little bit more fun, we're gonna bend that right knee, and then we're gonna turn it way out to the right so that the the right heel is pointing down toward the left butt cheek. And here we're opening up the hip flexors so that we have a little bit of physical opening here too. So if this is too challenging, you can of course skip it. Good. Maybe we want to just go here and then a bend and then work our way toward there, your choice. Good, just play with it here, check it out, no expectations, just open to the possibility, and exhale and send it down. Good, take your time working your way toward the second side, dropping that foot in just a touch, and taking the opposite heel up, and then bending that knee and turning it out to all the way out to the left so that the left heel is aiming toward that right butt cheek. Opening up that left hip flexor, just playing around. Good, as you're ready, let's straighten the leg back up into full down dog, or three-legged dog, excuse me. And then we'll drop it down, into down dog. Here we go, once again playing. Instead of just our traditional walking up to the mat, let's do a little crisscross, a little prancy prance. So we're just gonna cross the legs, one across the other, nice and slow, trying something different so you can make your way to the top of the mat. And a forward fold. Take your time folding, releasing. Maybe we want to grab the elbows here and let gravity provide us with some space, a little release. Letting go for a moment. Maybe even imagining you have a little box on the top of your forehead, and all of your worries, all of those distractions, all of those thoughts that are coming into your practice, they're just spilling out in a way they're no longer yours for the moment. Maybe you can revisit it later, but you do not have to revisit it now. You have choice, you have power. The next big exhale, release the hands, ground down through the heels, and we'll roll up through the crown of the head. Good, nice and slow, letting the crown of the head be the very last thing to reach the top. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Take a big inhale in, and a soft, slow exhale out. Peace in the pause, check back in, through the soles of the feet, through the crown of the head. Good, adding on, taking that time to check in, to have some compassion for yourself before we move on. Big inhale in, hands come down, around and up. Big exhale, coming back into chair pose, adding on. Good, big inhale. On the exhale, just like we practiced before, we're gonna lift our heart up, and at the same time, we're gonna shift our weight because we're playing around in our practice. Shift our weight to your favorite foot. Opposite knee comes up. Lifting up, we're holding something big, something nice, something that's going to reward us for all of the patience, all of the trust that we have built within our practice. So hold on tight, belly to spine, shoulders relax. Adding on here, big inhale. Good, and then on the exhale, let's turn that knee out to the side and connect the sole of the foot to the calf, calf to the foot for tree pose. We can drop the hands down toward the heart. Keep opening the knee out toward the side. Keep hugging the low ribs in and up. Shoulders relaxed. Good. Find your place in space in our tree pose. Good. Strong and stable, yet still flexible, right? Trees move unlike a mountain. Trees move. They're stable and deeply rooted, but they flow with the wind, right? So see what that means. How can we be deeply rooted and yet still confident enough, open enough to flow? Good. Next, big inhale. Let's swing that knee forward. Exhale, release. Let's prance it out, shake it out, let it go. Good. And then we'll check in with that on the second side. Big inhale, hands down, rounding up. Big exhale, find your chair, your virgin. Good. Staying for the inhale here. And exhale, shifting the weight. Good. Trusting ourselves and that connection, that compassion, that love we've built with ourselves as we lift up something good. Lift up all that love that you've created. Forget about the rewards. Just lift up all the love and trust. It's so heavy, so magnificent. Be proud of it. Good. Trusting ourselves, holding on, hanging on. And then next exhale, finding our tree pose. Bringing the foot to the calf, calf to the foot, hands to the heart. We see what we find on this side of the body. Be mindful here. If you want to do less, you can drop the toe down. If you want to do much more, we can bring the sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Let's just be mindful that we never drop the foot. Oh, a little slippery here with the sock. Be mindful that we never drop the foot to the knee. My body won't let me do that today. So I'm just going to accept it and hang out here for another inhale in. Slow exhale out. Woo-wee. Bring that knee forward and release. Prance it out. Shake it out. Let's take a big inhale in, taking it down to the mat. Big inhale, big lifting, big reaching, big opening, and exhale, fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, fold. Good. And then from here, let's walk down into down dog, or walk your feet back into down dog, depending on your orientation on the mat. Good. And then we'll drop the knees down into child's pose. Let's sit the hips back and down. One breath, check in here for an inhale in. And a soft, slow exhale out. And then very slowly walk the hands in toward your center. Swing the knees around. And we will come to rest in our final posture, Shavasana. Take your time getting down to the mat. Relaxing the shoulders, hands at our sides. Palms up or down, whatever feels best. Let the feet relax. Let the breath go as we sink into this integrative posture. We are not doing anything in Shavasana. It may look that way, but there's so much that's happening, especially after yoga practice in Shavasana. So honor yourself even here. Be open to what might happen if you stay in Shavasana. If you're a person who's used to leaving yoga class right before they start Shavasana, let's try to take an opposing attitude and see what might happen if you choose to stay. If you choose to resist the urge to get up, to think, to move, and just allow yourself to integrate back into yourself. Building that trust, that love, that compassion, that empathy for yourself, so that we can offer it up to the world, be more open to what the world may have to offer us in a more authentic way. Feel free to stay in Shavasana for as little or as long